monthly checks, and fixed income benefit programs from Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. Both at the same time? That's a great question and exactly what we're going to focus on right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to specifically talk about monthly check programs and fixed income benefit programs like all of those that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Can you receive both at the same time? Again, that is a really good question and what I want to focus on here in this video because these are gaining a lot of traction all across the country, so let's get into it and talk about all the details. However, really quickly before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the necessary research, and breaking it all down into these short videos, as it is a very busy, confusing, and uncertain time that we're currently living through. Things continue to change very rapidly, and ultimately, I want to point it all out so you can see how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and anything popping up we can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, I'm here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my promise, and as always, I'm sticking to it. So again, thank you so much for your support. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about monthly checks and fixed income benefit programs. Is it one or the other, or can you possibly grab both? Again, what I want to focus on, and a great question. All right. So this is a very interesting topic because let me talk you through the details about this, because monthly check programs are very different than fixed income benefit programs. Now again, I want to point this out because here is what is interesting about monthly check programs. Think of it this way. They are very similar to the same structure as stimulus checks, okay? Now again, these monthly check programs that I'm talking about are not necessarily stimulus checks, okay? So I'm not saying that, but rather I'm saying this much. They're structured very similar as far as an income basis, okay? So here's the thing. When it comes down to monthly checks, and when I say monthly checks, I'm referring to whatever they want to be called. Now, here's the thing. All across the country right now, we're seeing a lot of these different programs that are popping up. They could be called ongoing monthly checks, ongoing stimulus checks. They could be called guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, relief payments, anti-inflationary checks. The list goes on and on. They all have essentially a different name. But at the end of the day, what is it? It's a monthly check, okay? We know that. They're all essentially the exact same thing. But they all have different names, but essentially it's the exact same thing. Just an ongoing monthly check for low-income beneficiaries or low-income individuals, not necessarily beneficiaries who are receiving fixed income benefits, but just essentially low-income people who fall into the parameters of being eligible for ongoing monthly checks. Okay, got it. Now, how do you get some as a fixed income beneficiary? And can you get into both, or is it one versus the other? Is one going to replace the other? Well, good questions. All right, so here's what it comes down to. First off, no, monthly checks are not going to replace fixed income benefits and the benefits I mentioned at the beginning of this video, okay? So I would not worry about that. They're not going to replace them, okay? So don't worry about that. Next, is it one versus the other? Again, no. In most instances, no, it would not be one versus the other, as in, you get to choose. Do you want this one or do you want that one? No, that's not how it works, okay? Now again, this is all going to come full circle here. It's all going to make sense in just a minute, okay? And then we want to talk about the details of these monthly checks, and can you possibly get both at the same time? And this is what I want to talk about as far as the structure, how they are laid out, just like stimulus checks. Now let me point this out really quickly. Remember over the last couple years here, or last few years, I guess, would be 2020. Remember early 2020, late 2020, and early 2021. We got 3 stimulus checks during that time. $1,200, $600, and $1,400. Not bad. Those were the days, right? It was pretty nice when that was happening. It sure was a pretty nice relief. Remember the day? Now, honestly, let me digress for just a second here. Do you remember the day that you woke up, looked at your bank account, and you saw the stimulus check there? Was that not like the happiest time? I mean, seriously, I remember waking up super early. My bank information updates at like 6 a.m. or something like that. I remember waking up at like whatever time, early, 6:01, boom, log in. There it is. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's there. You know what I mean? Pending, there it is. You know what I mean? It was so cool. I remember seeing that every single time that those were issued, waking up early thinking, I think it's going to hit today. I think it's supposed to deposit it today. Do you remember that? It was just like the coolest thing. I can't believe it. There it is. Wow. It was so awesome. What a relief. You know what I mean? The money was there. We were all good. Like, it was helping us out at the time. That was so nice. Anyway, sorry. I just have to relive that for a second because it just makes me so happy to picture what it seemed like, right? During that time when it was pending in our accounts. Anyway, sorry about that. But let's talk through the details about this because we all want to understand this. Now, here's the thing. Sorry, I forgot where I was talking about, what I was talking about. Okay, now here's what it is. Remember back when we got those checks, the 3 stimulus checks, right? The $1,200, the $600, and the $1,400. They were not counted as income, they were not counted as resources, and they were not taxable. The best of all the worlds. The best of all the worlds, right? So as an SSI beneficiary, as an SSDI beneficiary, as a Social Security beneficiary, here's the thing. You know that with your monthly benefit, especially like SSI and SSDI and retirement benefits that are claimed early before full retirement age, you know that if you claim your benefit and if you have any kind of income, your benefits can be offset in a huge, huge way. In fact, if you have essentially any income as an SSI beneficiary, they essentially take away your monthly benefit. They basically garnish your benefit, right? It's kind of a scary situation. However, with stimulus checks, that was the super cool thing about it. It was not counted as income, therefore it would not offset other benefits. It was not counted as resources, it would not offset other benefits, and it was not taxable. The tax man did not come to you with his hand out saying, sure, I'll take 50% of that, thank you very much. It was none of that. Therefore, the best of all the worlds, a cash money payment into your account, and you could do whatever you want with it, no strings attached, and nobody else wanted a cut of it. The best, right? Super cool, right? All right, so with that being said, this is generally how monthly check programs are also structured. The reason for that is generally they don't offset other fixed income benefits. They generally are not counted as income, and generally they do not count as resources, right? So remember this much as well. When I say resources, I simply mean like in the event of an SSI beneficiary, you can only have so much money in your possession, right? As an individual, $2,000. As a married couple, $3,000. If you exceed that, guess what happens? They start garnishing your benefit because now they look at you and you say, wow, you're rich. Not really. $2,000 these days gets you almost nothing. Maybe gets you a car repair if it's not too bad, right? It doesn't get you much these days. My point is, I'm not trying to disregard $2,000. $2,000 is great. Don't get me wrong. $2,000 is a nice amount of money, right? But to live on $2,000 is a totally different story than saying I have $2,000 versus I'm trying to live on $2,000. Major, major difference, right? $2,000 does not get you far anymore. But this is the cool thing about monthly checks. And in the event that a monthly check program were to pop up in your local area, or if they were to start implementing these on a nationwide basis, then the simple answer would be unless there is legislation written into them that says everybody can get these checks except for fixed income or whatever the situation may be, the situation is that in most instances, you would be able to claim fixed income benefits and again, monthly checks simultaneously. Now again, I cannot guarantee anything. The reason that I say that is there's always the option, there's always the chance that maybe there's some kind of rule written in the fine print at the bottom that says, you know, this might be counted as resources, this may offset other benefits, this may be counted as income, you may need to pay taxes on it, all kinds of things like that. So of course, we always need to be aware of that language could possibly be in there, which is why I said, obviously I cannot guarantee anything. There's no way that I would guarantee anything out of Congress because we know they love to write huge, huge bills, thousands and thousands of pages, and who has the time to read through those? Not even they do, right? Lawmakers don't even read all that stuff. They just vote on it and just, assume that the best is in there. Well, they don't even know what half the stuff is in there. So anyway, long story short, when it comes down to it, monthly checks are very, very popular all across the country. We know that fixed income benefits are out there. There's millions upon millions of beneficiaries. About 40% of our population falls into the category of low income or fixed income beneficiaries. Therefore, we probably want to know about this because we've seen a lot of talk out there about these monthly check programs all across the country, as well as guaranteed basic income programs popping up around the country and on a nationwide level for low income beneficiaries. They would operate essentially the same as stimulus checks. Not taxable, not counted as income, not counted as resources, and they would not offset other benefits. Awesome stuff. I like the sound of that, right? Anyway, hope this kind of makes sense and hope it explains the situation a little bit further. Of course, as I do get more details on anything going on right now, of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what's going on and how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, just anything out there you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. As again, I totally get it. It's a very expensive time right now, and we need as much as we possibly can. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.